Hello everybody, once again, Taste of Asia is back in action. Sorry for the long delay in uploading some videos, but now I've been in the process of moving and I thought I'd give you a preview. This is the new townhouse that I purchased in Panama City, Florida. And that's my living area, and over here is my dining area. I just installed that new light fixture, and the kitchen is very small, but we're going to make it work as we always do. And what I decided to do today, for 9 years I haven't been able to make soy sauce chicken after my business closed because I didn't have enough space, refrigerator space. But now that I purchased this townhome, I set aside a space for the soy sauce pot in my fridge. So that's what we're going to do today. And you can see I purchased a stainless steel stock pot, and I'm going to show you how to make the mixture. And what we're going to use is these 3 bottles of soy sauce. The 2 on either side are the black soy sauce, and that gives color and is not as salty as the one in the center. The one in the center is your thin soy sauce. Usually I use Kikkoman, but this time I'm going to use all Chinese soy sauce from Pearl Gold Bridge is the brand. I've got that at an Asian store down here. And if you see on the cutting board, I have a lot of light in this kitchen also. Let me flip on some more light. Okay. What we have here is I bought these spices up in the Asian store up in Maryland before I came down. This is dried ginger, and this is a special spice package made specifically for making this dish, soy sauce chicken. It has you can see it has whole cinnamon. It's got star anise, there are cloves, and also peppercorns. And I'm going to jazz it up a little bit with some of my own spices. I have extra peppercorns and some of the dried ginger that's in there. And all we're going to do is we're going to balance the flavors on this. Anytime you make soy sauce chicken, all 3 of the soy sauces are salty to some degree. So we need to balance that with sugar. So we're going to use sugar, and then also, bam, there you go. We're going to use honey. So your guess is as good as mine as far as to how much sugar I'm going to use. But the key is you keep tasting your mixture until you get like a little bit of the salty taste, but also the sweet taste also. I'm going to start with the honey and maybe 2 cups of sugar and go from there. But whatever volume of soy sauce we put in, it's going to be like 1-to-1 with water. So I'll fill up the pot with the 2-to-1 mixture of the black soy and the thin soy, and then we'll add the same volume of water, and then we'll make a seasoning bag with cheesecloth and put all these seasonings in it. And then what we'll do is we'll bring that mixture to a boil with the bag in there, and you turn it down to a simmer and let it simmer for maybe a half an hour or so until the seasonings blend in with the sauce. Then all you do from there is, if you're going to make soy sauce chicken, you boil the whole chicken, use a roaster, and boil the chicken for about 15 minutes, and then take it and transfer it into the soy sauce and turn the soy sauce on simmer low and cook it for maybe an hour and a half until the chicken is nice and tender. And then you turn the heat off under the pot and just let the chicken sit in there, and then it absorbs all the flavor from that soy sauce, and the honey gives it a nice finish on the skin also. And so there's a lot of things you can put in that soy sauce. You can use whole chicken, you can use chicken wings, and you can use also pork, just like roast pork, but just cooked in the soy sauce. And anytime you serve the dish, you'll cut your dish up and you'll add a ladle of the soy sauce on top of it as a sauce. So I'm going to pause the camera, and I'll show you how we're going to do this. Okay, so check this out. This cheesecloth, which we're going to make the seasoning bag with, came from Walmart. It's $3, but you get like 36 inches by 3 yards, so it's a huge amount. I think people use this to make ghosts and goblins for Halloween. But anyway, here's what I have. I took a length of it, and so I made it into like 4 layers. I doubled it and then folded it over once and laid it on the cutting board. In the middle of the cutting board, then I put all the seasonings that I had laid out on the chopping board, and as you can see, all the bottles are empty now. And these bottles were 20.85 ounces per bottle, so it's about 63 ounces of soy sauce, and I added 63 ounces of water, which makes 126. 1 gallon is 128 ounces, and after you add the 12 ounces of the honey, you come up with a little over a gallon, and that's what we have in the stock pot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this. I didn't bring the tripod down to Florida yet. It's on its way at the end of this week, so I will figure out a way so you can see how I tie this up, and then I'll show you how the rest of the process. Okay, I'm going to try it like this and see how it works. So basically what I'm going to do is fold the 2 corners up, and then the other 2 corners up, like that, and I'm going to grab it real tight so the bag is there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a knot. There we go. So there's some things poking out, but nothing's going to come out of there. And we're going to drop this in the soy sauce after it comes to a boil. And I'll show you once it's boiled. We'll taste it and adjust the sugar in there. Okay, now everyone, you can see what we got going on. This was after about 20 minutes. The soy sauce came to a boil. I've turned it down to number 3, which is going to just let it simmer. And I decided, instead of tying that knot in the cheesecloth, that it was too much cheesecloth left over. So what I did was I made a little rope out of some of the cheesecloth, and I cut it. And you see how it got the knot in there? So there's a lot less cheesecloth hanging off the top of that seasoning ball. But that's what it looks like. And so now that it's come to a simmer, I'm going to let that simmer with the seasoning ball in there. Sometimes you can dunk it down or mix it around, like kind of like steep it, like you would tea, loose tea, for about a half an hour. And then I'll let it cool down. Tomorrow I'm going to go searching for some chicken wings, and we're going to give it a try. With any raw chicken, or even if the whole chicken or chicken wings, you want to boil it first a little bit, so you're not putting a raw chicken in there. With a whole chicken, you boil for about 15 minutes. With chicken wings, maybe 5 minutes, and then let it steep on a simmer like this for about even a little bit lower, for about an hour for a whole chicken, maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes for chicken wings, depending on how tender you want them. And we'll see how it works out. And by the way, that I wound up putting 4 cups of sugar in there, which is like in this plastic measuring cup, all the way to the top. It was 32 ounces of sugar. So the recipe for the soy sauce mixture: 2 black bottles of black soy sauce, one bottle of thin soy sauce, 20-ounce bottles equaling approximately 63 ounces of soy sauce, 63 ounces of water, 12 ounces of honey, and 32 ounces of sugar. And then you make the seasoning ball up. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little lesson, and if you have room for this in your fridge, it's excellent, and it keeps for a long time. All you have to do is let it cool down and put it back in the fridge. There's an old Chinese folklore that says if you put a dried snake's head in there, that you can keep things that you cook in there out without refrigeration, but I don't trust that. So, thanks for watching, and welcome to Florida, Panama City, as a matter of fact, Panama City, Florida. Hey everybody, we're back for the finished product. I have the, I found pork butt that was on sale for $1.20 a pound, so I got nice piece of pork butt. And then if you look at some of my other videos, you'll see I've made roast pork with pork like this. This time I parboiled this piece of pork that I cut in the shape for the roast pork, and I parboiled it for 5 minutes, took it out, and then I put it in this simmering pot of soy sauce. And it's going to simmer for about at least, I'd say, an hour. The longer, the more tender it gets, and then I'll turn the heat off and just let it steep in there for maybe another hour. And then all you have to do after that is you take it out. You can keep this in the refrigerator for 2 or 3 days, but you slice it thin, and then you ladle some of this sauce on top, and you garnish it with some green onion. And I'll show you that how it looks on a plate when it's done. So stay tuned for that. Okay everyone, there's your finished product. The piece of pork I had in the soy sauce, I put on a low simmer for 1 hour, and then I turned the heat off, covered it, and left it in the pot to steep for another hour. Took it out and let it rest for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then sliced it, as you can see on this platter. Added like a ladle of the sauce, and then garnished it with the green onions. So all you have to do, it's a very tasty dish. All you have to do with the soy sauce is let it cool down, cover it, and put it in your fridge. So if you have room for this pot, and you follow the recipe for how to make the sauce, and you'll see the seasoning ball is still in there. This is a wonderful dish, and very easy to prepare once you have the sauce made. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Thanks for watching.